Consent. We don't have anybody on public comment, so I'm going to move right to the consent agenda for the resolutions, and that is 2 RS 2026-1798, a resolution urging the President of the United States to approve federal assistance through Federal Emergency Management, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, for individuals affected by Winter Storm Fern. 4 RS 2026-1802, a resolution honoring the life and legacy of former council member Walter Hunt Sr. And RS 2026-1803, a resolution recognizing Lunar New Year 2026. Do I need to pull any of those three items off the consent agenda? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So then we're going to go back to item 1, RS 2026-1783, a resolution requesting the Metropolitan Civil Service Commission to update rules about the filing and resolution of employee grievances by sponsors Stiles and Easlick. Is Councilmember Stiles here? Can we push this to the heel?
Yes.
So moved.
Thank you. And then item 3 is RS 2026-1801, a resolution urging the Electric Power Board of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to terminate the employment of Teresa Burrows-Applin as Chief Executive Officer of Nashville Electric Service, sponsors Benedict and Johnston. And I see, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Consider, all right. Councilmember Benedict, you're here. Do you want to speak to your resolution? And one of us should tell what happened in other committee.
Yeah, so there's a lot of dialogue in the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. I would recommend people take a look at that. Just in a nutshell, what ended up happening was a one-meeting deferral in that, and so I would just request that you do the same here.
So moved.
If you want, I can certainly give more color on the resolution and what was discussed, but also if you wanted to go back, I know you have a big agenda here.
Move for a one-meeting deferral.
Second.
A discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? We defer with a vote of 5 to 0 to 0. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we have 2 late items. One is a late filed ordinance by Toombs and Gadd. It's an ordinance authorizing a one-time bill credit to water and sewer users as a result of the January 2026 winter storm.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
sorry, just going back in reference to RS 2026-1783, agenda item 1, I do see Councilmember Stiles.
Oh,
is now
okay,
in the room.
thank you. All right, Councilmember Stiles, we had some discussion last week about 1783, and I know Director Hall was here as well, and it looks like we've got a substitute. Do you want to speak to, did we move it?
Move approval of 1783.
Second.
All right, would you like to speak to what's taken place in the last 2 weeks?
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. So, change the language, so it would cover both filing agreements as well as a complaint, but also asking that the civil service would change their time frame for a turnaround to let someone know that a grievance has been filed, to give 48 hours. Right now, it is, I think, 10 days for them to get back. So moving that to 48 hours, and then also creating resolution in 90 days, because right now there isn't a time frame.
Get back in 48 hours means like acknowledge receipt.
Acknowledging that it has been received.
Okay.
But it will allow for us as council members, when issues come up in departments, as we saw with DEC, if someone says that a complaint has been lodged, we'd be able to see when they actually filed it, on what day,
Gotcha.
and how long it's taken.
Councilmember Prepty.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With regard to the 48-hour time frame for reporting, I'm assuming that is considering or taking into consideration 48 business hours, because if I file a complaint at 4:30 on Friday evening, obviously, that probably wouldn't be processed by personnel until that
Until
following
Monday.
Monday, yeah.
I'm happy to update language if needed, but again, I'm just focused on a quicker turnaround time to make sure people are heard and actually addressed.
Understandable. That's my only question.
Mr.
Go
Good.
Vice Chair.
I was just gonna ask, what does acknowledgement, I guess, look like today versus what could it look like? And so maybe I'm asking Director Hall about what does it look like today versus what you're envisioning as the sponsor?
Currently, there's no acknowledgement that you get. You might get a response back from whoever you emailed, but they get to respond pretty much when they want to, which is part of what we heard over the course of last year, is sometimes people weren't responded to at all, or it took, weeks before they heard from anyone. So with this, there's an electronic stamp that says they submitted it at this time, and then when the HR representative in the department would get it, it would let, once they've acknowledged, I've seen this, I know it exists, it would send a message back to the person that filed the complaint that it has been received by HR.
Can I also ask Director Hall?
Sure, yes.
Director Hall, do you?
Just with the framework and understanding, I don't fundamentally disagree with anything in this resolution. My only concern is that I agree that there is no acknowledgement timeframe or timeframe for the complaint process, which is in one section of the code. And I think the original resolution really speaks to that lack of acknowledgement, that lack of timeframe. And I don't disagree that there should be. So the merits of what's being proposed, I'm definitely not against at all. The grievance process is a completely separate legal process in civil service. It actually doesn't involve at all usually doesn't involve at all Metro HR. That requires, you have to give a full response to the grievance. It's not an investigation within 10 days. 10 days with the HR coordinator, 10 days with the department head, and then after that, you can appeal those decisions if you don't like them, straight to the commission through the ALJ process. So there are really good tight timeframes on the grievance process. So my only request at the last meeting was to just have it reference complaints and then everything else stay the same. Like, I do not at all disagree fundamentally with the merits of the items that Councilmember Stiles is raising at all. I think they're good ones. I just want to make sure we're not confusing the two processes between complaints and grievances, which are two very different things under civil service.
Thank you.
Did you have a question, Councilor?
That was it, actually. My understanding of the initial issues with the language was that the different processes in place for grievances and complaints. So I'm not sure the substitute addresses that.
So in my conversation with Mr. Wilson in our legal office, was that this would cover anyone that had a complaint or a grievance is able to electronically file that. And my request is of the Civil Service Commission that we're making the process uniform for both a grievance and a complaint, so that they're not separate, because that's part of the confusion, is we start dancing around grievance and complaint, but if you read civil service, they use the word interchangeably. Sometimes it says grievance/complaint, and it's not separate. So the intention here is that whether you're using grievance or whether you're using complaint, this just allows for the person that is filing that to have a time stamp that when they did it, and that it goes to someone and there's acknowledgement that grievance or complaint has been received. That just doesn't really exist, and it should be uniform for both.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I can, since after hearing the sponsor's intent, can we ask Director Hall if the language accomplishes what her intent is, or if there needs to be further changes to do that?
I'm confused by the language as written, but I appreciate what Councilmember Stiles is describing here makes sense to me. I don't read the resolution language as clearly as that. I read this to kind of interchange what Chapter 3.1 does under civil service and what Chapter 6.9 does, which are two completely different definitions. A complaint is a complaint of harassment, retaliation, discrimination, or workplace conduct, which usually would require an investigation. That could be done by the department coordinator inside the department. It could be done by Metro HR. Ultimately, people have recourse with EEOC. Employee grievances is an employee's claim that someone misapplied or violated a certain provision of civil service rules, ordinance, or law. A whole different process that doesn't really involve Metro HR at all. It's just, I think you applied, as an example, one that I got this week was an employee from a department who said, I think you have misapplied the holiday rule regarding my IOD leave. That's clearly outlined. It doesn't necessarily involve an investigation. He makes that the department has 10 days to not just acknowledge, but give a full response as to whether or not they agree with him and will change that, or whether or not that goes to the department head that has 10 days. And if he doesn't like either of those answers, he can go straight to the Civil Service Commission through the ALJ process. So it's a whole different process for a different set of things. I know that sometimes, even myself, I would use those terms interchangeably if someone were complaining or felt aggrieved about something, but they are just two different definitions in civil service. So I do not fundamentally disagree. I like the idea of a timestamp on both, an acknowledgement on both, but that's not how I read this resolution.
Based on that, I'm not really sure where that leaves us. I mean, it's a non-binding resolution, so you can go forward with it as it is, or HR directors seems to be on board with what you're trying to do. If you wanted to defer and work out language that accomplishes that more specifically, I'm not making that motion.
Or, I'm sorry, did you say, did you make the motion?
I did not, no.
I guess it'd be helpful, if I may, Chair.
Yep.
It'd be helpful to know lead sponsors' thoughts on what our colleague just stated.
I appreciate Councilmember Spain wanting clarification. I feel like we've done word salad as it pertains to issues within processes and policies with HR, and I personally am just exhausted. At this point, if the gist of this bill is to make sure that the people that are filing complaints or grievances can have an opportunity to have a timestamp so that they know that they've submitted it and someone has received it, and I'm, going to civil service with this request as well. I would like to move forward for today. I can clean it up and explain what this is to them, to your point that it's non-binding, but really for us to make a stand on this, I think is critical, and not delaying it. Because that was one of the biggest things that we heard from the surveys is filed a complaint is just I sent an email or I picked up a phone and I called someone. There's no evidence of that. So I think it's important that we recognize that and say, hey, we do need something that acknowledges something has been filed and that someone has received it. Happy to work on the other things before I head to next month's meeting for civil service.
Let's hear.
You wanna get,
Oh, I'm sorry.
John hasn't spoken yet.
Councilmember Rutherford.
I was just gonna add that, it may not be perfect, but as a non-binding resolution, I'm comfortable with it going forward.
I think I am too.
I was gonna say the same thing, cause I'm kinda like, let's let civil service, they can have the conversation about the, if it's confusing or if there needs to be some feedback back to us, but it's kinda like, I kinda default to like, what is the process gonna look like, and I think they're gonna need some lead time to be able to have that conversation and process, and so I'm okay with it.
All right, I think, oh, I'm sorry. go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, on that line, to sort of just move us forward, move approval of the substitute.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? All right, now, can I get a motion to move the resolution as substituted?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 5 to 0 to 0.
Thank you very much.
All right, we have 2 late items. One was a late filed ordinance, Toombs and Gad, an ordinance authorizing a one-time bill credit to water and sewer users as a result of the January 2026 water storm. I'm sorry, not water. Winter storm. I knew it was wrong as it was coming out. Winter storm. Can I get a motion? All right, any discussion?
I know neither one of the sponsors are here, but if council is, I mean, I'm sure I can surmise the reason for the late file nature of it, but for our council, our institutionally, I guess, sort of was the reason for it being late filed, if we know at this point.
I do have. I'm assuming because we want to get like it. We just had a.
My understanding of the late file nature is just to try and get these, I guess, moving as quickly as possible as people are recovering from the storms. The storms were, as you guys all know, very recent.
I do have a memo from Assistant Director Tara Ladd. I don't see. Metro Water Services respectfully requests suspension of the rules to late file an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to provide a one-time bill credit to water and sewer users. Metro Water Service understands our community and our customers have endured economic hardships as a result of Winter Storm Fern, and we want to provide a one-time bill credit to water and sewer users as soon as possible. So that kind of speaks to it.
Yeah.
All right. Any other discussion or questions? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Did we move it? Yeah, we did. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? All right. And then we have a late filed resolutions by Toombs, Wiener, and Huffman. A resolution authorizing the waiver of certain permit fees for the repair or rebuilding of property damaged as a result of the January 2026 winter storm. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
And so I think it's kind of similar. I don't think I have a letter, but I do have a document with a lot of signatures, including Director Hall, Director of Finance.
There should be a letter from Codes in
Metropolitan.
Sheriff, I may, on
I
the
don't
side.
see the letter from Codes, but just see the resolution with a signature from Director Hall. Yes.
I'll just say, just given the emergency nature of all of this and needing to get aid to folks as much as possible, I think it's more than appropriate for us to suspend the rules on this one.
Got a motion?
So moved.
Any, a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? All right, thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to, the Board and Commission appointees and nominees. I have had a request from somebody we haven't seen in a long time. Former Council Director Darby, who I think has an appointment nearby, but a very important one. If you wanted to, is that all right if we go ahead and
Sure.
let her go? All right. I think you know where the.
I know where the seat is.
Hot
I've
seat
never
is.
sat in it before. I know where it is.
And don't forget about the parking and we go. All right, so you are nominated to the Employee Benefits Study and Formulating Committee. Tell us a little bit about your experience and why you'd like to be on this particular committee.
Well, I was asked, which was very nice, and the reason why I would like to be on it, and I think I would be a good member of the committee. I have a lot of experience, or I have some prior experience with the Study and Formulating Committee as their attorney back in 2011, I believe it was, whatever that iteration was. You know, this Study and Formulating Committee is convened once every 5 years and works for a fairly limited period of time to review Metro employee benefits, health benefits, IOD, I believe is something else that's on the list of things that we would be reviewing. And I think that experience will help me be a good member of this board. I think just my history with Metro will also make me a good member of this board and bring that knowledge to the work that we do.
Other questions?
I feel like we should grill her.
Since you don't know me very well.
Yes. I like this nomination.
Yeah, thanks
sorry.
for he just said, I like this nomination.
Okay,
Yeah.
And I said, thanks, I was gonna say, thanks for coming, being willing to come back so quickly and not take a real long lag, so,
all right, are we ready to vote?
yes.
All in favor
Aye.
of the nomination of Margaret Darby for a term expiring March 3rd, 2031 to the Employee Benefit Study and Formulating Committee?
Aye.
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting?
Thank you so much. Thank you for moving me to the top.
Yep. All right, we're gonna go back one to Shilan Haji for the Action Commission.
Aye.
Come on up. And is this it? This is a reappointment, so you've served on for two terms? Okay.
One term.
Oh, one term? Okay. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Need me for anything?
Tell us a little bit about yourself, why you, what you have liked or done in serving, liked about or done in serving on the Action Commission, and why you'd like another term.
So this is my first term, well, I did the first term, this is for my second term. With the first term, I liked a lot of what MAC does, where it includes the whole family, from Head Start at a young age all the way up to youth, even parents. And I feel with myself, I volunteer at my kids' school a lot, or as much as I can, but I also have ideas of things that would be beneficial, and I'm trying to just find my place with MAC and see how I can contribute in that aspect. So, yeah.
Yes.
And so you were involved in the director search and that whole process as part of your time, right?
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
what did you, I guess, learn from that experience maybe that you'll apply in your next term?
Honestly, I'm still learning. I think I'm getting to understand it now a little more about what my role is. So that first term was just me fresh in the boat trying to figure it out. So I hope with the second term I can, do something more
Yeah.
than the first. So I feel like it was just a learning experience, just
Yes.
for, being a first timer. But second term, I feel like I can do or contribute more.
We ask this of a lot of nominees. Do you have the time to make this commitment?
Yes.
Is it monthly?
It's monthly.
Monthly?
Yeah.
Where do y'all meet?
Mac.
Building 1281 Murfreesboro Pike.
Gotcha.
It's monthly.
All right. Yes.
And thank you for your willingness to continue serving. I guess I'm just curious, from your perspective, how's MAC doing with regards to language access for folks to be able to get materials on the services that MAC provides in a language that's more accessible for them?
I feel language-wise, it's pretty accessible. I have seen a few flyers, especially in areas that I go to. So seeing that it's providing those different languages is very beneficial and helpful. But I do wish that there's more ways others can get to those resources. I feel like a lot of people don't have access to it. Yeah.
Thanks. Any other questions? Ready to vote? All in favor of, Shilan Haji for the Action Commission for a term expiring February 2nd, 2029. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? Thank you very much. Don't forget about your options up here. All right, Employee Benefit Study and Formulating Committee, appointment of Leslie Farmer for a term expiring March 3rd, 2031. Come on down. Hey, and this is an appointment, so you haven't been on it before. So tell us a little bit about yourself and why you'd like to serve on this committee.
Well, I'm Leslie Farmer. I've been a resident of Nashville for about 19 years now. I guess I can't say I'm new to Nashville anymore, originally from Memphis. I am employed with Tennessee State Government as the Deputy Commissioner and General Counsel of Human Resources. So I feel my experience in HR and law kind of helped me a little bit in understanding some of the duties that will probably be for the board. Also, I had the opportunity within Tennessee State Government to look at our benefits even though we don't handle it directly within HR, we do have the opportunity to review the benefits for Tennessee state government employees. So I'll be able to transfer that experience to this board.
Did I see your hand?
You did.
Yes.
I was just gonna ask, kind of based on that, since you have all that experience at this state, have you had a preview to like Metro benefits as they stand today? And I'm kind of curious, I guess, longer term, like if you reflect on this experience and kind of compare, like who's more competitive of an employer, you know, from a benefit perspective?
I'm not as familiar with Metro government's benefits, but I know that as we were looking at state government benefits, we looked at other local governments, other states, and private sector to look at our benefits and look at our salaries, for example, you know, to see what we had to offer. And we realized that we were struggling in a lot of areas, so we worked to move to increase our benefits for state employees. Overall, one of the things that we did was implement paid parental leave of 6 weeks. We changed how we front load our accrued leave. We also increased our bereavement leave. So we've done a lot of things to make us more competitive as an employer, not to steal any Metro government employees, but as a state employer, yes.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Yes. Protein.
Thank you. I'll just add, I think that having Ms. Farmer on this board will be a net benefit for Nashville, because understanding that I know the DA's office here operates sort of as a quasi-metro state agency where they receive, certain employees receive funding for their salaries and benefits from the state. So I think sort of just understanding some of those complexities will be of a net benefit for this board. So Ms. Farmer has my support for this. So.
Anything else? All right, if we're ready to vote, all in favor of the Employee Benefits Study and Formulating Committee appointment of Leslie Farmer for a term expiring March 3rd, 2031, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting?
Thank you.
Thank you. And I didn't say at the beginning when I was talking about the cards that, as many of you know, the interviews are today, and we'll make a vote. As you see, we're voting on them. But in 2 weeks, it will be that we will have the full council will have a vote. You certainly may come back for that, but you don't have to. All right. Next, the Employee Benefits Study and Formulating Committee appointment of Glenn Farner for a term expiring March 3rd, 2030. Come on down.
Hello. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Farner, this is an appointment. So tell us why what your experience is and why you're interested in the Employee Benefits Study and Formulating Committee, that you have time for it, what your interest is.
Sure. I served on the Employee Benefits Study and Formulating Committee in 2014, 2015. We did, I think it was about 6 months, maybe 5 months. We did a pretty deep dive in both the health benefits and the retirement benefits, and came to some great conclusions there and reports. So I have a good understanding of the Metro benefits from that standpoint. In my job, I work for a labor union. I represent mostly construction and private employee groups. I negotiate their contracts. That includes their health benefits. I sit as a fiduciary or a trustee, a chairman, in fact, of 5 different health benefit, multi-employer health benefit funds, retirement funds, training, apprenticeship. So very familiar with consultant reports and reading the financial statements and understanding the benefits. And I've done that for about 30 years. So.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Varner, I see that you've served on a number of Metro authorities and a committee in the past. Is there anything that you've learned or any experiences that you have from your past service on because I see here you served on the Airport Authority, the Sports Authority, I'm just not realizing.
All of
them? Yeah, just now realizing that those are also 2 that the state's been trying to take over, but that's not here. And so yeah, if you could just talk about like those past experiences and how you feel like they inform your ability to serve on this committee.
You talking about the other committees that I've served on? Well, I guess none of the other committees except for the airport board, really kind of reviews their own pension and retirement and health benefits. And we don't really at the airport kind of get down in the weeds on the specific eligibility and coverages and that kind of thing, other than look at the funding levels and the investments and the returns and just kind of approving the plan as a whole. But none of the other boards, because I guess all of their employees are handled actually by Metro. Yeah, I got a really deep understanding specifically of the retirement benefits. 'Cause we did a pretty exhaustive review of those in 2015. And what we found really after really pursuing it was, initially folks were worried about withdrawal liability and funding levels. And what we really found was that the Metro retirement was very well funded at the time, 93% or 94% at the time.
All right, are we ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? All right. You are approved.
Thank you
Approved
so
for
much.
recommendation.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, Employee Benefits Study and Formulating Committee, appointment of Gary Moore for a term expiring March 3rd, 2031. Mr. Moore, I gotta say, one of the first things I did in politics was I was on the M&EA board, and we, on the M&EA Political Action Committee, we interviewed folks, including yourself, for State House, and so feels like old times. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're
I'm a
interested in this committee.
75-year resident here of Davidson County, which is probably longer than most of you are old. But I'm also been a registered voter for 52 of those 75 years, or actually 57 of those years. Longtime community activist, served in different positions within the IEFF, which is International Association of Firefighters. Served as vice president, president, and recording secretary. Served in the State House, as you mentioned, from 2004 to 2012. Served as president of Tennessee Professional Firefighters, where I got to lobby the state legislature on firefighting issues. And also served as founding member and president of the Southern Federation of Professional Firefighters. I'm also over two different 501c3s. One is called Bennett Manor Assisted Living, which we're in the process of trying to build an assisted living facility in Jordan. The other is called Property Tax Assistance, Inc., in which we help senior citizens pay their property taxes when they're about to lose their home. We work closely with the trustee's office to facilitate that. And most of you have probably seen me up here in the past. At one time, I was a registered lobbyist. I no longer do that. But
What
I am
lobbyist?
Pardon?
You said a what lobbyist?
A registered.
Gotcha.
Officially registered. And that don't mean that I won't advocate now for different things in my community back home. A little history here that's kind of, to be quite honest with you, frustrating to me is we've got an issue going on in the Jordan community. We're doing the redistricting. I no longer live in District 1. Across the street, my neighbor's in District 1, but I'm in District 10. And I was told by somebody on the planning commission that I didn't need to be speaking about it because I wasn't in the district. But technically, I'm closer, a whole lot closer than a lot of other people that are in District 1 that actually got up there and spoke. So my point is, I only say that to simply say that I don't think we should allow district lines to divide communities. The community is a community and should remain a community. That's just my personal opinion. Got way off track.
Fair. Let's stay focused on the employee benefits study. Formulating committee, though. Anything else you want to say about that?
Well, it is.
Or
I have a long history of studying the benefits of Metro. And so I'm very aware of the pension system, how it works, very aware of what the employees are paid and their steps. So I'm very aware of the system, and that's the reason I want to serve.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Moore? Are we ready to vote? All in favor of Mr. Moore for this committee for term expiring March 3rd, 2031. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? You are approved. So the committee will issue an approved recommendation. All right, next is the appointment of John Tischler for a term expiring March 3rd, 2031 to the Employee Benefits Study and Formulating Committee. Hey, Mr. Tischler, tell us a little bit about yourself and what qualifies you and why you'd like to serve on this particular
Well, listening
committee.
to all the qualifications, I'm not sure I'm very qualified, but I formerly was the chairman at Waller, Lanston, Dorch, and Davis, and in that position, I got to watch and be involved in all of our benefits on a private level. Obviously, it's very different. But one thing I know is that well-compensated employees are happy employees, and so it's very important to me that obviously our Metro employees are taken care of, and so I'm very interested in learning what I can and having my input in whatever way I can.
Thanks. Any questions? I'll ask you, like, so you, you know, it'll take some time out of everyday life. Do you have time to
I'm
commit to this?
retired, so I'm able to do that, which is what motivated me, actually. I've been retired for about a year and figured out that I don't have quite enough things to do, so driving my wife crazy, and so I'd rather drive somebody else crazy.
So she nominated you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Any questions?
Congratulations on retirement.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor of John Tischler for a term expiring March 3rd, 2031 to the Employee Benefits Study and Formulated Committee, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? All right.
Thanks.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we've got for the Fire and Building Code Appeals Board, reappointment of Anthony Locke for a term expiring March 1st, 2030. Mr. Locke. Welcome, and this is a reappointment. So you, tell us about yourself and maybe what you've experienced on the Fire and Building Code Appeals Board and why you want to continue.
Well, I'm a structural engineer. I've been a structural engineer for my own company for 20-something years, but I've been a structural engineer for 40-something years, and I've served on this board and went through a lot of cases, enjoyed it, and just meet a lot of people and hear a lot of different things about the building industry here and what's up and what they're trying to accomplish.
So, do you, I kind of want to ask this, I sometimes ask this of Fire and Building Code Appeals. So, do you ever, are you ever grappling with an issue and thinking about the law, the code that's written, and that maybe council should do something about that, rather than just deal with, are there things that you want to say to a council member?
There are standards in the building code that are sometimes confusing, and there's a lot of, when you're doing variance boards, it's just this, how is this building going to fit? How are these going to apply? And so there's a lot of discussion to that. There's been a lot of work in the last 3 years on the committee of what our role really is, and they were there to either approve or disapprove how that variance is put together. Because a lot of times, a lot of us are very helping designers, and we want to end up saying, well, what you really need to do is this, but that's not our role. Our role is to make the variance and to understand how they present it. And a lot of times they get refused and they come back with a little bit better approach, which will make sense because we're not there to kill the building process. We're there to understand what their variance is and how it's going to fit into the real code and what makes sense. And common sense is something that sometimes differs than some of the conditions that are in there. So you have to apply. And there's so many different building techniques and building products that will create some issues. And there's a brand new code coming out, and that is going to hamper us for a while too.
All right, any questions?
One.
Yes.
Can you tell us, I guess, because this is one that I'm not that familiar with, except for when we have somebody coming in for a reappointment. What kinds of cases you all hear, like, most often, or the kinds of variances you're considering?
There's a lot of simple cases where, variances calling for certain clearance dimensions on stairways or conditions like that. Then there's some about how the security systems are applied for fire and everything. And then there's some building codes, like how many floors you can put above this, and whether or not how they are identified, and then there's a lot of things with property alignment and how close you can build something or how close you can utilize it. So it's anything and everything that's going to be in a building or a fire that somebody can't get through the building code review, and they say the only way you're going to get this approved is to go through the variance board.
Got it.
And so we hear their conditions, and then there's a lot of drawings and stuff that they submit that we, most of us are pretty familiar with what that process looks like from the design standpoint. And so we're there to help, but it is a confusing process sometimes. Because and it has cleared up a little bit because we had some long meetings for a long time, and we limited. You got to come in with your case ready. You can't, just let us design for you.
Thank you.
That's helpful, thanks. Yes, anything else? There are 5 of us all in favor of the Fire and Building Code Appeals Board of reappointment of Anthony Locke for a term expiring March 1st, 2030. Say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
5 to 0. All right, we are supposed to be stopping right now, but we have 3 more pages. All right. For a change of pace, we're now going to interview appointments to the Sports Authority. The appointment of John Glassmeyer for term expiring February 17th, 2030. Mr. Glassmeyer?
Down in the alphabet category, I guess.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you would, why you are interested in the Sports Authority and what you'd like to accomplish.
I'm a Nashville native, East Nashville resident for the last 30 years. Been on other boards and commission. Mayor Purcell appointed me to the Arts Commission. Did 4 years with them. Did not seek a reappointment because I was traveling with work and I needed to be at meetings. So.
Arts to sports,
well, yeah. I've served on a lot of other boards. Was on the Sports Authority once before. Mayor Briley appointed me to serve a unexpired term. Somebody moved. Was hoping to get reappointed at that point, was not. And so it's come around again, and I enjoyed my time with Monica immensely. I chaired the Finance Committee. We were there. We worked on the new lease with the Predators while I was on the board, so went through that. And we worked through the whole stadium for the soccer team while I was on there. I played rugby. That's my sports contribution to Nashville. I chaired a large international rugby tournament here in 2016. My local team still plays rugby here. Willing and able to serve is sort of where I come from. I don't have any kids, so this is my way of giving back.
As not a newbie, do you see what do you expect to come before the Sports Authority?
We've also got a new football stadium coming. There'll probably be renegotiations of different leases, and it's all interesting, very interesting things. And I'm obviously very interested in what's going on in our city and want it to be the best. So anything I can do to help.
Any questions? Yes, Councilmember Potee.
Well, mine's not relevant, so go first.
Mine's relevant. I was going to ask, all the chatter about baseball. Do you have a perspective about, if somebody's going to come and say, give me money?
It doesn't, I read a lot. There's a great blog I call Urban Planet that I read nearly every day. And, a lot of talk about it, but I don't know if the city's going to be up for footing any bills, and I don't think necessarily probably should. Somebody's going to come through with a lot of money to bring us this. And the other part of it is, I like the sounds, and the sounds can't be here in Davidson County if we get a we get a major league team. So there's a lot of, it would have to be something substantial from somebody outside of us, the taxpayers, to bring us a Major League Baseball team here.
Other question I had, it seemed like your experience on the IT, the project management and all that would lend itself really well to this role. I don't know if you apply those skills in this setting.
I do. I mean, the project management's sort of the way I think. So I've chaired a lot of big events. If you remember Outrageous, it was a big event for Nashville Carriers. I was in charge of that for a long time. So that my brain works that way.
That's good.
Process, yeah.
Well, in the interest of time, we can take it offline, but I'm just really curious how a native Nashville, or how somebody here in Nashville gets involved playing rugby, because that's not a very common sport.
It's not, but there are teams.
Exactly, but yeah, but appreciate that.
You bet.
All right, are we ready to vote? Appointment of John Glassmeyer for term expiring February 17, 2030. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any not voting? 6-0-0. Thanks,
Thanks very much.
All right, next, the reappointment of Anna Page for a term expiring February 19, 2032. Come on down. All right, Ms. Page, this is a reappointment, so tell us a little bit about your experiences on the Sports Authority and what you'd like to accomplish going forward.
That's a good part. So I have a passion for Nashville, and I have a passion for us growing and being smart with our development and our growth and our finances. And the Sports Authority is amazing in how we keep things under control financially. Our stadium is on time, on budget, could not be more proud. Monica and her team, amazing. I would like to see some more women's sports come to Nashville. I think that.
Is there much discussion about that ever, or is it
Not as
waiting
much
for?
since Margaret Beam isn't on the board, but I think there's still many of us that still have that passion for that to happen, and it's important in a progressive city to have that kind of diversity. And what was the other part of that?
Past and present was, or past and future was the gist of it.
Past, we're great. Future, we're moving forward. So I don't know.
Any questions for Ms. Page?
How do you feel about baseball?
Did Bob Mendez tell you I can't
No.
throw a ball? Okay, just check.
No, but I know who it was.
About like pro baseball, all the chatter about it, and
Oh,
it's
well,
kind of hanging out there. And
I would certainly welcome it with the right financing. That, like, it's America's pastime.
Thank you.
Ready to vote? All in favor of Anna Page for a term to the Sports Authority expiring February 19th, 2032, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? Thank you. Don't forget if you need a pass or WeGo card. All right, next, the Sports Authority appointment of Kendall Poole for a term expiring February 19th, 2032. Mr. Poole, this is an appointment, so you haven't been on the Sports Authority, but
That's
are
correct.
looking to serve. And what do you bring to the Sports Authority?
I was gonna ask you how Hayden was doing.
Oh, Hayden's good.
Went to Hume Fog with my son, and
I was there myself for a while.
I know you were.
He's good.
That's good. I am a lifelong resident of Nashville, Donaldson, Hermitage, Old Hickory area. Aaron, I went to the old DuPont High School.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm that old. And just a passion for public service. You can see on my resume, I've worked for some of the best in public service, and I've learned a lot. Jason, Councilmember Spain, can attest to that. But just a passion. I was so glad and so excited and honored when the mayor's office called me to appoint me to do this, because I have a passion for public service.
Right. Any questions? Yes,
I've
Councilman
got a
Brown?
question. You may have heard it before. How do you feel about pro baseball?
So first of all, I'm a massive baseball fan. I'm a historian of baseball. I've been skeptical because I did not know if we could handle it. I'm looking forward to hearing it from the sports authorities' perspective. Because anything we do, we've got to do right by the taxpayers. And we've got to make it worthwhile for the city to do that. That being said, it would be beautiful to have that here. But it's gotta be the right thing, gotta be the right time.
Yes, Councilmember Spain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Mr. Poole alluded to, we've known each other for a long time. I actually didn't realize how long until I started looking at his bio. But I think we've crossed paths in just about every role he's occupied, and I've been in several along the line too. But he's served in every one of them with dedication and great ability and competence. I just appreciate his willingness to do this.
Thank you.
I think he'll be a great member.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else? Ready for a vote? All in favor of the appointment of Kenneth Poole to the Sports Authority for a term expiring February 19, 2032, vote aye.
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting?
Thank you.
Thank you,
I
sir.
appreciate your service too.
All right, the next is the Sports Authority reappointment of Daniel Russ Pulley for a term expiring February 19, 2032. My understanding is he is not able to be here today, and we'd like to defer for one meeting.
Hopefully. I'm gonna ask for a 3-meeting deferral.
There's a lot going on with him.
Yeah, he's just dealing with a lot right now and
Okay.
mobility issues, so I think 3 meetings would be.
3-meeting deferral, do I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? We're still at 6. All right, next is Sports Authority appointment of Adam Sanseveri for a term expiring February 19th, 2032.
It was the other bad.
Hey, Mr. Sanseveri, tell us about yourself and why you'd like to be on the Sports Authority.
Sure. Born in Nashville, moved back about almost 8 years ago with the relocation of Alliance Bernstein. I helped lead that initiative. I'm the head of the private wealth business there. My life's been in touching entertainment and sports since I was a little kid. I'm a national champion track and field athlete. I'm a classically trained musician who sang at the Met in New York and a Tony Award-winning Broadway producer, so I know the entertainment business incredibly well. I ended up getting a master's in economics and moving into the finance world about 15 years ago. Since that time, I built the sports and entertainment practice for Alliance Bernstein. It's about an $8 billion business for us globally. I'm passionate about public service. I've gotten very involved in philanthropy in this town. And Focus named me the top fresh face of philanthropy, whatever that thing is. So I've served on 7 boards since I've moved back to the city and wanted to get more involved in civic duty. And when Mayor O'Connell reached out and asked me to do something, I was very pleased to say yes.
Sounds great. Councilmember Evans, you got it.
I was gonna say, I guess I'll keep going with the baseball question. What are your thoughts about
I'm
pro
like
baseball?
I feel like I'm the only person who does not like baseball. So I'm just, you know, but it's just the sport itself. Now, what's right for Nashville is what's right for Nashville. And if it was economically good, that's an area of passion, and obviously my master's and focus in economics, I would look at it through the lens of what would be best for our GDP responsibly.
I was gonna ask if it was a Broadway production about baseball.
It's called Damn Yankees.
Oh.
It exists.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor of the appointment of Mr. Sanseveri?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? 6-0-0. Don't forget to any one of
Thank you
these.
so much.
And last for the Sports Authority, the appointment of Victor Wynn for a term expiring February 17th, 2030.
Nope, sorry.
I'm scared to
Hey, Mr. Wynn, tell us a little. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you'd like to serve on the Sports Authority. What you bring to it?
I am a native Nashvilleian, and I've served on several different boards, but this is my first time launching into the government sector. And so I had expressed an interest a while back to be part of the airport authority, and well, with what's going on now, when I was asked to serve on the sports commission, it was my honor to be able to serve. 2 kids are off to college, so I have a little more time on my hands, and so I'm going to put that time to good use.
Great. So why this one? Is it you were asked, or is there
I was asked,
interest?
and there's an interest. I love Nashville. I'm really, really proud of my city. I love what we're doing with sports, music, culture, and to be a part of that is something that I think would be rewarding. I also think that given my experience in the nonprofit sector, kind of managing volunteers in other organizations, I think that's something I can bring in. We have big projects going on with where I work, and so those types of things, being in the details and kind of pushing things forward is what I can bring to the table and what I do every day.
What do you think about Major League Baseball?
Well, I kind of echo Mr. Poole's sentiment in that if it's right for Nashville, then yeah, but I'm a little bit skeptical given all that's going on right now. I think let's get one thing done and make sure we're getting it done well, and considering transit and all the other things that are still pressing, I would be a little apprehensive until we kind of finalize those other areas.
Fair. Any other questions?
Just want to say congratulations on getting 2 kids off to college.
Man,
Yeah.
Commiserate for 2. The bills come in, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It is painful.
Still paying for them.
Still in, yeah.
All right, are we ready to vote?
Yep.
All in favor of Mr. Wynn for the Sports Authority, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? 6-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Don't forget these 2 if you want one. All right, next we are moving to the Transportation Licensing Commission. We've got, these are council nominated positions or nominees. And first is Manon Hall, nominated by Councilmember Parker. Mr. Hall, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested. I know you're interested in a lot of Metro things. Why the Transportation Licensing Commission?
Yeah, I have been a user of shared use mobility devices, scooters, bikes, and docked bike share. I've been a big, just last year I used over 450 rides on the docked bike share in Nashville, and so their management through the committee, through the commission is very important to me, and seeing that continue to improve and continue to grow. And then I've been a Uber driver. I worked for Cruise when they were in town for a couple weeks, and then they left. Obviously, that's not something that the commission has, they've been preempted on that, but it is something that really affects our right-of-way. And so I'm interested in how all the other vehicles interact with those vehicles as well. So I feel like there might be instances where we have to deal with that going forward.
I'm going to steal one of your questions again, if you don't mind, Vice Chair. What's your experience? Have you watched any of the Transportation Licensing Commission meetings? And my part B is, have you watched any of the Transportation Licensing Commissions when they talked about horse-drawn carriages? And do you have any thoughts about horse-drawn carriages in Nashville?
So I didn't go back to like the epic saga. That was like 10 years ago now. That was a while ago. So this is not something they rule on that I care about. I care about the horses in a different way, maybe, and I think we need to be maybe considering the horses more, which is not something that they kind of rule on. But yeah, I think I'll take what they have to say and see how to go with it.
That was my first impression. The TLC is horse-drawn carriage stuff that was way more dramatic, and I got pulled in way more than I expected to. Any other questions, Mr. Hall? Yes.
Thanks for being here. You alluded to this is an area where there's some, we call it give and take between Metro and the state over what the commission's allowed to do and what they're not. What are your thoughts on the commission's role in kind of straddling that fence?
Well, they can't legislate, right? And so they're kind of given the responsibility by y'all. And I know a lot of people would like to see responsibility taken away from them. And so I think one thing that with that is the length of the meetings. It seems like it's really, really long, and I would love to see kind of it be more of a deliberation time, and there be maybe better reports or questions that are provided to the commissioners like ahead of time, so it's less like a trial and more like a decision-making process. That's something that I feel like would be very important to implement. And then I would love to continue to see more. I really like taxis. I would love to see how we can make them more accessible, better. So they actually, I don't know, it's on this committee right now, but it's about signage on the taxis. And so I've tried to take taxis downtown before because the bus stops and I'm stranded. And they, it'd say like $100 to go to like East Nashville. And then I've had other times when it's like $25, $30 when they actually set the timer. So it's like, how can we manage those better so that people choose them over Uber and Lyft? Because we actually can, know who's driving and take care of them. I don't know if that's necessarily preemption related, but those are kind of the things that I'm here about.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Any other questions?
I noticed, well, I'm sorry, I wasn't recognized, I just started talking. I watched the meeting today, or I noticed it was very short, and I was like, why is it so short? And then they didn't meet quorum, and so is this I haven't watched too many TLC meetings, is this one that if you're familiar, or do they have issues meeting quorum historically, or do you even know? And I'm asking you, like, you know all the answers, but I figured you probably.
I feel like I remember one meeting last year, I could be wrong.
Where they had a quorum
Where
challenge.
they had a quorum challenge. That is, yeah, I mean, obviously today wasn't good. I went to a different meeting that had a quorum challenge. I went to the Fair Board today, and so they also had a quorum challenge. And
it's just Tuesday.
I think maybe, yeah, it's very odd. A lot of council members are late today. I don't know. I guess maybe there's traffic. It's a weird day in Nashville, so maybe.
We need a member on that Fair Board to be able to
Is there anybody in this room that could do something about that?
All right, anything else? Committee members? All right, are we ready to vote? Yes. All in favor of the nomination of Manon Hall for the Transportation License Commission? Any against? Any not voting? 6-0-0. All right, next we have Michael Hayes nominated by Council Member Spain. My understanding is Mr. Hayes is not here, and Council Member Spain has a request or motion.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, that is correct. Mr. Hayes is not able to be here. He is a current member of this commission. He's actually a current two-term member of this commission. Maybe part of the reason they didn't have quorum today. He is out of the country on business and is unable to be here tonight. I hate to see us lose that level of institutional knowledge because he's not able to be here for his interview this evening. He does have a previous interview before the Rules Committee from February 20th of 24, if anyone wanted to go back and watch that one. But with that in mind, I am going to, I guess I'm making a motion to suspend the rules to allow Mr. Hayes to have his interview before the Rules Committee at our next meeting. So to defer his interview for one meeting until the meeting immediately prior to the election.
Okay, my understanding that does require suspension of the rules. So and it's the same as with regular council, that is there any objection to the suspension of the rules in this matter? All right, so now council help me out, do we need to make a motion to defer?
Yes.
All right, all in favor of a motion to defer the interview of Michael Hayes for one meeting?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? All right, there are 7 of us now. All right, thank you.
I just want to say I think it's very impressive that Councilmember Rutherford was able to make it down to New Orleans and back in 15 minutes.
Oh my.
All right. Next, the nomination of Jarrett Webb, nominated by Councilmember Hancock, is.
Mr. Chair, I understand that he is not here either, and so I would like to make a similar motion as Mr. Spain for Mr. Webb, just to defer one meeting.
So you're requesting a suspension of the rules?
Yes, sir.
Is there any objection to the suspension of the rules?
Do we know the
Context about why? No, as a matter of fact, I just know he's not here.
I was just told he was called into work. I don't know what that means,
okay.
but.
Okay, so now would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I'd like to move for one meeting, deferral of Mr. Webb's interview to the next meeting.
Okay.
One meeting.
Got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? All right, so we'll have 2 interviews. The election is at the next meeting, and we'll have 2 interviews that evening. I wonder, I think there might need to be a suspension of the rules, either full council tonight or in 2 weeks. I'm not sure if that's both true or just tonight.
Or just tonight.
Okay. All right. All right. So from last week, we've got. I'm going to do this on consent. We've got the Contract and Compliance Board appointment of Marcus Booth for a term expiring September 3rd, 2026. We've got the Historical Commission reappointment of Don Cusick for a term expiring February 3rd, 2030. We've got the Historical Commission reappointment of Laura Roast for a term expiring January 29th, 2030, and those are the 3. Can I get a motion to approve those 3 nominees for confirmation tonight?
So moved. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? We're still at 7. And get all those down. We also have a rule change, which by rule we have to defer one meeting to think about and be ready to discuss at the next meeting. I forget, do we actually make the motion to defer? Let's do that, just to be safe. Can I get a motion for a 1 meeting deferral for the rule change to 13.4?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? All right, we got 5 minutes to, 5 minutes, and I will remind you that I sent you an email for right after the last meeting about our, the kind of report, the 2 reports about the boards and commissions, and I do want us to talk about that. Is there, should we find time at a regularly scheduled meeting, or should we schedule a special meeting to talk about it, or do you want to? Yes.
Could we start by finding time at the next meeting with the council being
Yes,
notified?
I'll ask.
If they can carve up the extra 30 minutes to 40, it'd be a lot easier.
Yes, I will ask staff to do that. All right, motion to adjourn?
So moved.